Today we'll be covering Leetcode 205, Isomorphic Strings. Given two strings, S and T, determine if they are isomorphic. Two strings, S and T, are isomorphic if the characters in S can be replaced to get T. All occurrences of a character must be replaced with another character while preserving the order of the characters. No two characters may map to the same character, but a character may map to itself. In this problem, we will use two hash maps to help determine if the strings are isomorphic. The constraints state that S and T will be of the same length. So we'll iterate through all the indices in S. At each index, we will check if S hash has a key for S at our current index. If it does not, then we will set that key as the value of T at the same index. Our else statement states that our S hash does have a key for the value of S at index I. And if that does not map to T at the same index I, then we can go ahead and return false. The strings are not isomorphic. Next in the algorithm, we'll do the same thing using each index of T. And once again, if we find that the strings are not isomorphic, we will immediately return false. If we've made it to the end of our for loop, then we can go ahead and return true. Let's go ahead and walk through our algorithm with my brand new teal Sharpie. This should make things a lot easier for everyone. So let's check our characters. We have two strings, S and T. S is paper, and T is title. So we're going to go through each index, and I'm going to put a little I over here to keep track of that. That's a T. Let's do an I. So for I equals 0, let's check. S at index I is P. Is there an entry for P in the S hash? Well, no, there is not. So let's go ahead and make one. And where is that going to map to? Well, it's going to map to T at index I, which is T. Now, let's look at T at index I. And that maps to P. You might think this is redundant, and it is. But it is necessary, and I'll show you why when we get over to the IDE. All right, let's move on to I equals 1. All right, so at index 1 of S, we have an A. There is no entry yet. So let's go ahead and map that to the I here. And we'll do the same thing in reverse for the T hash. All right, we're coming to index 2 now. We have another P. Okay, so this is already in there. Let's check. Does, oh man, this is hard to say. Does the S hash at index S of I equal T of I? Okay, let's check this out. So we have our P is mapped to our T. All right, we are at index 2. So we have P and T, and then we have at index 2, we have T. So we're good to go. We're going to keep going. But now we need to check the reverse. Is that also true? So T hash at T at index I, which is T, maps to P, which is S at index I. And this is, it feels excessive, but once again, I'll show you in the IDE why this is important to be checking both ways. Now we're in index 3. There's no entry yet, so we'll map E to L and L to E. And lastly, we're at index 4. Do we have an entry for R? Not yet, so let's map it to E. And now we have an E here, and we'll map that to R. And so we haven't popped false, and so now we can go ahead and return true. And we're going to head over to the IDE and take a look at this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and enter our code into the IDE. And first I'm going to do it incorrectly, just so I can show you why we have to check the 2 hash maps each time. So let's go ahead and create our S hash. And now we're going to do our for loop. So for I in range, the length of S, and remember, S and T have the same length. We're going to check if S at index I is not in our S hash. And if it's not, then we're going to add it. So we'll set S hash at S at index I equal to T at index I. So in the case that we have down here, F will map to N. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our else statement. And I'm going to copy this and make it a little easier. We'll say if the mapping is not correct, we're going to go ahead and return false. Now let's say we only did this part of the algorithm. And at the end, we'll go ahead and return true. I'm going to go ahead and run this. And you'll see that for most cases, it's working out just fine. And even in this case, if you look at 5, we have noon and food. It works. But even if we just swap these two to food and noon, it outputs true. And here is the reason. So we're checking, is F in our S hash, in the keys? No, it's not. So we add it. Is O in the S hash? No. So we add it. Is O there? Yes, it is. So we check it. We're good. Now it checks, is D in the S hash? Is it? No, it is not. So we add it and we map it to N. So then we go and we check the mapping. Does D map to N? Yeah, it does. So it's not false. We're going to go ahead and return true, even though we see that F is mapped to N and D is mapped to N. If we wanted to use just one hash map, we would have to do something quite different. Because right here, we would have to check, okay, well, is T of I in values excluding the place where we've already added it? And for me, I just feel like this way of doing it with the second hash map is just a little bit more intuitive. Just think back to your math class when you would do things like if and only if, right? This has to work both ways. Egg has to be isomorphic with add, and add has to be isomorphic with egg. So we're doing it both ways. So we'll go ahead and just finish coding that up. We'll say if T at index I not in T hash, then we're going to go ahead and add it. So T hash at index T and index I. We're going to set equal to S at index I. And then we're going to check, let's see, we'll do our else. And then we'll copy and paste this. And we'll say if, and we'll set this to a not equal to, and then we'll say return false. Now we'll go ahead and run it. Maybe if I spelled things correctly, it would work better. Let's fix that. Syntax errors are a pain in the butt. So now it's happy. We can go ahead and submit. And we are using some data structures. So our space complexity is going to be big O of n. But our time complexity, we're doing just one iteration. It's going to be big O of n. Okay, just for funsies, I'm going to go ahead and write out the solution with a single hash map. So we have our S hash, and we're going to check 3 conditions for each index in the length of S. So for I in range, the length of S. The first condition, if S at index I is in our S hash, and our S hash at S at index I is not equal to T at index I, we're going to return false. That means we have an entry for the character in S at index I, but it's not equal to the corresponding character in T. So else if S at index I is not in S hash, but T at index I is already in our S hash values, then we can return false. And then lastly, we would just add S at index I to our T hash and set the value to T at index I. And if we make it all the way through that for loop, we'd go ahead and return true. Let's run this. If I could spell, things would go so much better. How about this? I'm just going to copy and paste the code that I already wrote. It's a lot like this, except without mistakes. You bask in the glory. We'll run and submit. And it does work, right? And we're still using big O of n time complexity. And we still got the one data structure. So we're still using big O of n space complexity. So pause it or whatever you need to do, because now the code's correct. You can take a look at it. But this is a way we could do it with a single hash map.